tell us about your returns. So obviously, like you said, return on investment is key. Can you give us some stats behind that?
Yeah, we're at a 4.5 right now on just TV. So not across all the other benefits that TV has and how it's affecting our other channels, but right now it's a 4.5 on TV.
What do you think that's going to bump it up to? Because 4.5 by itself, with what you're telling me, especially in a 6 month period, because some people, like I tell people, like give it 6 months. I mean, obviously 12 months is like a better, set to look at. Like, is it really going to work? Sometimes people know within the first month if it's going to work. Some people it takes 6 months. I tell people like give it 6 months because in 6 months it's going to perform if you give it that time frame. So first of all, how long did it take you to start seeing an ROI? And then first answer, where do you think that ROI will be 4.5 once you close the deals that you've spent the money, you've already paid the money. So the money that comes in, you'll need to come and bring it back to where you've spent it. Where do you think that ROI will end up approximately?
I think we'll be right around a five, right around a five. Now, as you mentioned, 12 months, a lot of that has to do with seasonality. Our market is very seasonal. So we definitely do our bigger deals in typically in Q1 and Q2 of the year. And so to have a full picture of like how things are going to go, it's definitely, if you're in that kind of seasonal market, you need to have at least 12 months. But I would say it's projecting right now around a five. But I'll tell you what I've learned is ROI has a lot more to do with your sales team and their ability than any single marketing channel. And that's why when we look at the effectiveness of a marketing channel, we like to look at lead to appointment versus ROI because ROI is just so like it's really dependent on how good is your sales team negotiating and also what kind of position strategies do you have? Are you a one-trick pony and you're just cash offers, or do you have a secondary or even a third option for them like innovation, like a creative finance where you can monetize more of these leads? So it's not all apples to apples when we talk about ROI. I just wanted to give that context.
So obviously, authority, obviously, it's helped your other lead channels. What other things have you seen because you are now on TV?
I couldn't really put a finger on this, but swagger, it gives our sales team confidence when they know we're a market authority and they see, like one of our sales guys, he was getting his oil change the other day and he sent us a picture. Our commercial was playing in the waiting room of the mechanic shop, right? And I think that makes him proud to be a part of a company that's doing that. And anybody else in the waiting room, you could be like, "Hey, look, that's us. Do you know anybody that's looking to sell your house?" Right? I think it gives them the confidence that we're a legit company. It also shows significant investment by the company that, hey, we want you guys to make a lot of commissions. We want you guys to make a lot of money. Look, we're spending money in these areas. And so I think that's kind of the thing that doesn't get talked about enough is what it does to your sales team confidence because confident salespeople are not the commission breath salespeople. They're not trying to work one over and hey, I win, you lose, and afraid in negotiations. They're cool, they're smooth. Hey, I don't need this deal. I'm here to provide you value. You can work with us or not. Both are okay. But then when we have the brand power, it just makes that so much less salesy, so much more relaxed, and they can really work from that standpoint of strength in the sales process and not this like scarcity.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of clients that have had success on TV. You're bringing up some points that not anybody else has ever brought up. And that's, what you mentioned earlier, but then the swagger. So that could be potentially one of the reasons that your other marketing channels are doing better is because they have more confidence. So how, I think I asked it earlier and I'll circle back around to it. How long did it take you guys to start doing deals?
Just with TV,
Yeah, when you turned on TV, so sometimes lead channels will take 3 to 6 months to really start cranking. When you guys knew that it was working, like when was that point, whether you had contracts or not? And then tell us about your first, let's say 30 days. How did that go?
so we actually saw it affect our other lead channels, like PPC and web SEO first. And then I think we got our first contract around like day 40, 45. Ironically, the first call that we got was an appointment from TV, but we weren't able to convert that one. So I think it was right around day 40 or 45 that we got our first contract from TV, but we saw the lift in the other channels immediately because our cost per lead was coming down because we had so many more branded searches. People were Googling Offer Now Idaho at like double the rate than they were before. And we know that that's because of the commercial. That didn't just happen by chance.
Yeah. And when did you see that people looked at you more as the authority, whether it's the sellers, agents, other investors? Like, how long did it take for that impact, for you to see that impact?
Probably around month 4. It has to play a certain amount of times. People have to see it. One thing we also did to help us out is we started giving each of our salespeople $20 per 5-star Google review that they could get from sellers or even people that they had worked with in the past. Anybody and everybody that we're helping, realtors, title agents, contractors we're employing for our flips, because we knew with the TV commercial, people will Google you and they'll look at your rating, right? And so I think if you have 10 5-star reviews or no 5-star reviews, or you have like even less than 100 reviews, that is absolutely something you should do. So we would gladly pay each of our reps $20 per 5-star Google review that they can get. We even put a QR code on the back of our business cards every time they have a positive experience with the seller, even if we're not the right fit and we don't sign the contract. Hey, could you take 30 seconds to give me a 5-star Google review? Boom, they can scan that QR code. And you have to do these ancillary things so that when people see the commercial, that it just gives you a higher chance to convert because they're like, oh, dang, they've got almost, 150, 200 5-star reviews. They have to be legit. It's just that secondary punch that you give them of like, okay, these guys stand out versus everybody else.
Want to get motivated sellers that nobody knows about? Introducing 10x TV. If you want to create credibility in your market, find deals that nobody else knows about, and crush your competition, you need to check into TV commercials. It is the new buzz in the real estate investing industry since we introduced it several years ago. I've been using TV commercials myself for the last 12 years and it's absolutely crushed it. So if you want to learn how to get on TV and to do something that little to no people are doing right now, go to claimmymarket.com. Again, that's claimmymarket.com. We usually only work with 2 investors per market, so if you're interested, reach out to us and book a call to see if you can claim your market before anybody else does.